At 10 years old, a girl in suburban Atlanta started writing rap lyrics in a spiral notebook, partly as a creative outlet and partly, by her own account, as a direct response to being bullied at school for the way she looked. At 16, she won a national reality television competition built specifically to find the next great teenage rapper. Then she turned down the prize. That decision, walking away from a guaranteed record deal at 16 years old because she wanted to build something on her own terms instead, tells you almost everything you need to know about how Latto has approached her career ever since. This is her story. She was born Alyssa Michelle Stevens on December 22, 1998, in Columbus, Ohio, to a white mother, Misty, and a black father whose identity and whereabouts have remained largely unknown throughout her life. Her mother later moved the family to Clayton County, Georgia, just outside Atlanta, where Alyssa was raised in a household that included a stepfather, Shane Pitts, who took on much of the responsibility of raising her. It was in the Atlanta suburbs, immersed early in the city's dominant Southern hip-hop culture, that she found both her calling and, almost immediately, a source of conflict. Stevens has said she was bullied throughout school for being light-skinned in a way that made her, in her words, funny-looking to her classmates, an experience of racial in-betweenness that shaped her sense of identity from a very young age. As a biracial kid who didn't fit neatly into any one box other classmates recognized. Rather than run from that experience, she leaned directly into it, adopting the stage name Miss Mulatto around age 10, taking the very racial classification used to other her and repurposing it as a badge of identity, years before she'd fully reckon with how that word would read to a much wider audience later in her career. She attended Lovejoy High School in Clayton County, developing a local reputation as a serious, technically skilled young rapper through talent shows, open mics, and an increasingly active presence on early social media. That local buzz caught the attention of producers casting for a new Lifetime reality series being developed by Jermaine Dupri and executive produced by Queen Latifah, called The Rap Game, an American Idol-style competition built entirely around discovering the next great teenage rap talent. In 2016, at 16 years old, Stevens, still performing as Miss Mulatto, joined the show's inaugural cast, competing against 4 other young rappers through an 8-week, boot camp-style format. She won. The prize was a recording contract with Dupri's own label, So Def Recordings, the kind of opportunity most 16-year-olds in her position would have grabbed without a second thought. Latto turned it down, choosing instead to remain independent and build her catalog and her business on her own terms, a decision that would become the defining thread of her entire approach to the music industry over the following decade. Independence meant grinding. Over the next several years, she self-released a series of mixtapes and EPs, steadily expanding her regional following through relentless output and consistent local performances, opening for other artists, and staying visible on social media in the years before any single song had truly broken through nationally. The breakthrough finally arrived in 2019 with Bitch from the South, an unapologetic, hard-charging Southern rap anthem that became her first single to chart on the Billboard Hot 100, eventually earning double platinum certification from the RIA. The song's remix, featuring Saweetie and Trina, extended its reach even further and signaled her arrival as a genuine commercial force rather than just a former reality show contestant. That momentum carried her to a deal with RCA Records, and in August 2020, she released her debut studio album, Queen of the South, which climbed into the upper reaches of the Billboard 200 and included the platinum-certified single MUWAP, alongside Atlanta veteran Gucci Mane. A full-circle moment for a rapper who'd grown up steeped in exactly the regional sound Gucci had helped define. In 2021, Stevens made a decision that would end up defining the next chapter of her public identity even more than her music did. She formally retired the stage name Miss Mulatto, along with its shortened variant Mulatto, and rebranded herself simply as Latto. The name she'd chosen at 10 years old to reclaim a slur aimed at her own biracial identity had, over the years, drawn increasing criticism from people who found the term's colorist and historical connotations impossible to separate from its ugliest associations, regardless of her original intent. Rather than continue defending it, she dropped it entirely, and the rebrand came with a broader visual and sonic reset, a shift away from tighter bodysuits and toward looser Y2K-inflected streetwear, along with a public embrace of her natural hair that read, to many longtime fans, as a genuine maturation rather than a simple marketing pivot. A separate, more loosely defined rivalry developed with Ice Spice around the same period, fueled by overlapping industry alliances. Ice Spice's close working relationship with Minaj on one side, and Latto's own collaborations with Cardi B, who has her own long-running history of tension with Minaj, on the other. Lyrics on Latto's 2023 Offset collaboration, Fine as Can Be, were widely interpreted by fans as veiled shots at Ice Spice, and speculation swirled for months over lines from both camps before the two rappers ultimately squashed the rumored beef publicly, releasing a joint single together titled Giant that leaned directly into the wrestling-style rivalry imagery fans had built up around them. Rumors of tension with fellow Southern rapper Sexy Red have followed a similar, mostly manufactured pattern, flaring up periodically on social media over perceived style overlaps or subtweets, only for both artists to repeatedly and publicly shut the speculation down, noting they'd collaborated together multiple times, including joint appearances on tracks with Young Nudy and Cardi B, and that there had never been any real issue between them at all. Her personal life has drawn its own steady stream of public interest, particularly a long-running, on-and-off cycle of speculation about a relationship with rapper 21 Savage, rumors that swirled for years through tabloid coverage and cross-reference sightings before Latto finally addressed the question directly in a 2025 interview, effectively putting years of speculation to rest. She's continued to lean into business ventures beyond music as well, clothing lines, brand partnerships, and a public persona built around financial independence that mirrors the same did it my way instinct that led a 16-year-old to turn down a guaranteed record deal in the first place. Even her occasional controversies have tended to reinforce that image rather than undercut it. A widely circulated 2024 stunt in which she issued a $10,000 brokey challenge on social media, and clips of her recounting a Twitter account hack with self-deprecating humor on a podcast. Both read less like scandals and more like extensions of an online persona she's built with the same deliberate control she's applied to the rest of her career. Throughout 2025 and into 2026, she's kept up a steady release pace rather than disappearing between album cycles. The single Somebody, arriving in May 2025, followed by Business and Personal, early the following year, alongside guest features on projects from artists including Summer Walker, Glorilla, and Sexy Red, and continued high-profile appearances across award shows, brand events, and industry showcases celebrating the current generation of women reshaping mainstream hip-hop. What ties the entire arc of her career together, from a bullied 10-year-old writing rhymes in Clayton County to a Grammy-nominated, globally charting artist in her late 20s, is a genuinely unusual level of consistency in how she's approached control over her own narrative. She reclaimed a painful word as a child performer, then discarded it as an adult once she recognized what it actually cost her. She turned down a guaranteed deal at 16 to build independently instead. She weathered a very public, very personal feud with one of the most influential women in rap history without ever fully backing down, and later extended an open hand toward reconciliation on her own terms and her own timeline. Almost everything about Latto's career, when you step back far enough, has followed the same basic pattern. She decides who she is on her own schedule and dares the rest of the industry to catch up. If you enjoyed this content, please share and subscribe.